ladies and gents, we've got a little job to do on the Aygo again. Doing some DIY, managed to break it and need to fix it. Let me show you. So the heat control switches are broken, smashed. I was transporting some stuff to the tip, Aygo being as small as it is. Some lengths of metal were running from the back to the front, and when I pulled them out, they were sort of leaning on the front here. It dropped down and smashed off the dial at the very front. That's the one that controls the fan speed, and it's not repairable. I've got the front bit that came off, but there's bits that are trashed. It won't go back together. So I've bought a replacement switch unit. It's the whole piece that you see there, all of that. And to get it out, I need to take off this kind of binnacle that runs all the way around and down, and get the switch out and swap it over. Now, it would normally be very straightforward as a direct swap, but the one that I've bought also broken, and I need to make a good one out of both of them. Anyway, let's pull this binnacle off and start to disassemble it. If you just get your fingers behind the lip there, it does just come away. And just work your way round. And underneath. It will just slip out. I'm just going to take off the, in fact I'm going to get a little poker to remove this. Which I don't think you need a poker, or maybe you do. And that's just the plug to the hazard warning light. I'll lay that down there. So it's quite simple from here on in. If you were literally just swapping this unit over, it is just a matter of extracting this, and it's just these 4 lugs, as you can see there, and then disconnecting the wiring from behind. So let's just pull that out. I think you can mostly see what we're doing here. It's fairly straightforward. So the switch that's broken is the actual fan speed. That cable there and that cable there are for the heater control itself, so whether you have it on hot or cold, and the fan position, so whether it's windscreen or down to the floor. So we just need to disconnect these two, and that's just done by literally flapping that back and popping it out, and then it comes out of its little socket there too. And then just pinch and pull. There you go. And pinch. And that comes too. So just make a note of where that one came out from, because there is another slot just over there, which is relating to something that's not a feature of this car. When you look at the dial, you'll see I don't have the little recirculation pictures or the dial that you would need for it, and that's what that cable would apply to. I also don't have aircon. Anyway, having flipped it back over, you can see that this is the only other plug connector that we need to remove. And before I do that, we do have the cable tied to the rear cover there. And I think that's a little bit of a DIY job at some point in the past by somebody, because this definitely doesn't unclip, and it's got tape on it which is just electrical insulation tapes, clearly after market, and I'm just going to cut that through to let that slip away. Let me see if I can do that. Hopefully that's done the job. Yeah. I need to remake that. And to release this, you just need to press down and pull that back, and it just pops out. So essentially that's it. Let's go and see if we can take a look at the replacement one and make one good part out of two broken ones. So the new one, new to me anyway, has the rear cover broken, two lugs broken off, one missing and one flopping around, whereas on my current one the lugs are all intact and fairly solid. I just have a broken dial at the front, and this one of course is in no such state. So I'm going to swap the front of this over onto this backing. It's not just a cover, all of the little cogs and bits and bobs inside form part of the front and the rear cover, so it has to be taken apart carefully and put together carefully, and that can be a little fiddly, but we'll try and keep the camera on point as we do it, and hopefully you'll be able to see what we're doing. There are two little lugs here we need to poke in, and two on the other side. Just try and stop popping back in as you go. And then ease them apart. So we're going to be discarding this part and keeping this part. Don't lose this little black button here. It's spring loaded. It's what ratchets your dials as you're turning them, so when you get that little click 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 noise, it holds them in place. It pops out really easily. This is probably the hardest part of this particular job, is pulling this apart. And once it's out, it's out. So this little wheel here, you can see the teeth there. Sorry about the camera shake. A tooth there and a tooth over there and a big one here. It's got to mesh with this one here and its big cutout there. And this little gear here and its two little identifying marks. You can see them right there because they're slightly raised. If we flip this one over, it needs to marry up with that little arrow just there on those teeth. So I can use this lever to reposition this dial as I push them together, whilst essentially lining these two up as I slot that through that aperture there. Bit fiddly, but doable. sometimes the little cutout in the gear behind this lever as it goes through doesn't want to quite mesh, and you can just tease this off, pull this binnacle out, slide this dial out, minding the little spring switch that's behind that as well, and you can line it up from this side and then just pop it all back in. So there we have it, one fully complete and fully functioning heater control module, and as the old saying goes, installation is the reverse of removal. These actually slip in a little bit easier than they remove, so it's not particularly fiddly. Just need to slip this box connector back in, push the lever up and over. That's done. I'm just going to secure this back with a little bit more tape. That's now done. Very carefully pop it back into place. And then we just need to connect up the hazard switch. It will all slot back into place. Well, that was a nice, easy fix, and it didn't cost me a penny. I paid, I think, 20 something pounds for that part. When I ordered it, it was my intention to just do a straight swap, no fiddling around swapping bits over. It had, in the photos, in the description, 3 good solid lugs, and I thought, well, it's held captive by that binnacle around the outside, it'll just fit in nicely. When it arrived, as you could see, 2 more lugs had snapped off, and the one remaining lug was flapping around. It was no good. I did contact the seller because it really wasn't packaged very well. It was very loose in a ill-fitting box with very little bubble wrap or anything like that, and it was just asking to get broken in transit. But I contacted the seller. He was very good about it, and he refunded the part straight away. So I thought to myself, well, actually I can make one good complete unit out of the good bits of mine and the good bits of that one, and in the end it hasn't cost me a penny. So there's always a way. Thank you very much for watching. If you like these kind of videos, please consider subscribing, and it will help with the algorithms and get the content out there to other people. And I thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and we'll get back to you, and we'll see you next time.